Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dee. For those of you who are new here, I appreciate your support, and I really thank you for watching my videos. For those of you who have subscribed to me and have been subscribed to me for a while, you guys are also awesome, and your support means a lot more than you know. It has been a while since I posted my last part, well, one of my parts to my 12-year coloring journey. So I'm gonna do, I think it's either part 4, no, part 5, I believe it is. I could be wrong. Could be either 4 or 5. Anyways, I'm going to get into that because I still got a few videos to go for my 12-year coloring journey. Again, like I said in my very first one, I didn't realize how many pictures I actually had for my coloring journey until I actually started doing these videos. So, we will get started. Let me just move some of the stuff out of the way and we will get started. All right, so this page here was from Reptiloids. It was the first volume by Vasil. Oh my goodness, what is his name? Vasil something. Oh my goodness. Anyways, this is from the Reptiloids book, and I used alcohol marker for all of it, except for I did do shading on the bird and the little creature here in the basket, and then I used my metallic markers for around this, but yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I was testing my alcohol markers and the blending with my alcohol markers on this. So it was a pretty simple one. It didn't take me long to do, but yeah, it was quite interesting to do. So there's that one. Now, these pictures are in no particular order. I don't date them. So I'm not exactly sure when throughout my coloring journey I've done these, but these would have been within the last 3 years, maybe 4. The ones that I'm showing you now. The ones in the very beginning video were my older ones from when I first started coloring. Now we're getting into the ones where my coloring has changed as I've grown in my artwork. So this one here is from Camelia Androkova's 50 Ocean Miniatures. And I decided to cut it out just because I wanted to I didn't do the whole page. So I cut out this section, and I used alcohol markers, and I based it. No, I didn't base these guys in alcohol markers, just the water. And the background, I believe, could be alcohol marker or chalk pastel, but I did the turtles and these guys here in colored pencils. They had to have been, the colored pencils I was using at the time were my Marco Ruffin and Brut Funers, and oh my goodness, what was the other ones I was using at this time that I started coloring this? No, it wasn't my Prismas. They were my Marcos, my Lollies. There's a bunch. Staedtlers. I used a bunch of different ones. So all I know is it was colored pencils of some sort. I'm just going to move some stuff here so I can make room to put my pages. This one was another one from the Ocean Miniatures book by Camelia Androkova. I love sea turtles, and when I saw these pictures and the other one, I just had to color the pages. This was chalk pastels. I added the bubbles myself. And I Yeah, I did this part of the turtle, a base of alcohol marker, but the shells were all colored pencils, and I really, really loved the colors, the purples and the teals and the oranges and the pinks together. So I was really proud of myself when I did this one as well. So, I mean, as I grow, I became more and more proud of my pages. I mean, I was proud of my pages when I first started, but I was also, like I said, as I've been growing, I realized the change in my artwork and the way I color, and the things that I had tweaked to make things easier for myself while I colored, and what works well for me and what I loved, you know, I made work. So it's a growing process, right? And it's a great therapy for mental health, and this is what it did, and my mental health got a lot stronger and a lot better as I grew in my coloring myself. So that's another thing to think about. As you grow throughout your art, you grow as a person and mentally as well. This picture here was from a Mayu coloring book. I believe it was Super Cute Summer, I think it is. And I think these were color pencils I used on here. And I used alcohol marker background. And again, these bubbles or these circles I added. No, I did not. These circles were here in the background. I used paint pen, and while the paint pen was wet, I put on some glitter to give it a little bit of and then I added the black dots. But it was a simpler page, but I was happy with it, you know. So, and this is from the same book. Again, I didn't do very much shading on this one. I just had fun with it, really. I didn't really go all out. I did, you know, straight coloring, and then I shaded. This is when I was starting to learn how to shade over marker. And yeah, so this is how I used to do it. And then I made, like I mentioned before in one of my videos, I had made a cloud stencil out of cardboard instead of buying one, and I used that with some chalk pastel in the background, and I was just another one I was happy about completing, and it's that feeling of accomplishment when you do finish a page. So that also helps your mental health, you know, that feeling of accomplishment and finishing something without half-assing it, so to speak. All right, so the next few pages, we'll do it this way. All right, hang on a second, guys. Just give me a second. All right. This one was a Lacy Sunshine one. This was pretty straightforward. I just straight colored, and then I used different color chalk pastel for the background to give it a cute background. This is from Lacy Sunshine's Stitched coloring book. And yeah, I just straight colored, and then I did the little dots with paint pen. And yeah, that day I was just feeling like putting color to paper. Nothing too, you know, I didn't want to do too much because my brain just didn't want to go there. So I just picked a page that was simpler and just kind of went from there. So this one was a buddy color with Disney Megs, and this was done for her Megs ABC challenge. And this was, I believe, at the beginning of the year or at the end of last year, something like that. But it's by Kelly O'Gorman, and she has an alphabet book, but the way each letter is created by using and having different things starting with that letter. So astronaut, axe, anchor, acorn, artist, alien, you know, stuff like that. So I did the background with alcohol marker and added the A's like a chalkboard. I don't know, I got that chalkboard kind of feel with it. I colored all of these little characters with either my Colors or my Brute Funer pencils. But yeah, I was proud of this one. This was a palette challenge, which I don't do palettes, but, well, I don't do palettes now, challenges, but before it was for a group, and you couldn't do any shades. You could only use those specific colors, no embellishments, no nothing. And I did this one. I believe this one was the Tabitha Barnett one. Don't quote me on it, but these were the colors chosen for the palette, and that's alcohol marker. It was all alcohol marker. So there's that one. This one is from Coco Wyo's Chibi Girls book, or Nico Girls, I think. And I had fun with this one, honestly. This is all chalk pastel in the boxes. I used alcohol marker on her hair. Yeah, just her hair. And then the rest I used colored pencil. I tried to stick to more of a limit of colors, and I didn't do too much shading. I did the gradients on most of the stuff, but I went with pastel colors for the background so she could stand out instead of, you know, the background. But I thought it worked well together, so yeah, I enjoyed that one. This is an April Amber from her Chibi Girls book, and this was done all with alcohol marker. When I was doing this one, I really wasn't overly happy with it, but I kept going, and this was the outcome of it. I mean, it's cute, but yeah. Here's that one. This one is from Dina Stone's, oh my goodness, what is the name of the book? Kawaii book. And I love these kinds of pages. They seem chaotic, and I know I say I don't really do detailed pages, but I don't mind like doodle pages like this because each thing is just their own kind of picture in my head. So if I don't feel like coloring the whole page in one sitting, then I color a couple, and then I do a couple more the next time. And this was the outcome of it, and I was really, really happy with it. I mean, I'm just happy with all my pages, to be honest, because again, it shows the growth and the growing through my journey. So I used a lot of stuff on here. I used alcohol marker, and I used Color pencils, Brute Funer pencils. I believe I used some Starjoy pencils, not my Starjoy Golds, my regular Starjoys, and some paint pens. I was really, I loved the way it turned out. So this became quite popular on Facebook in a lot of my coloring Facebook groups. This is from Dina Stone's 100 Patterns coloring book, and I stuck with the pink, purples, blues, and greens for this one, and my paint pens. And yeah, by the time I realized it, it was just like it had blown up on my Facebook coloring groups. Like it became quite the favorite, and a lot of groups put it as their cover photo. I actually colored in the background black. It wasn't a black background. I colored all this in black, and yeah. So yeah, it was a mix of any of my colored pencils, because I use mixed media a lot, and I have a lot of different colored pencil sets, so it could have been any one of them, to be honest, but the ones I usually stick to are my Brute Funers, my Colors, my Studio Series pencils and, you know, some Prismas. And what else do I have? My Star Joys, and yeah, so there's that one. This one was from one of Coco Wild's books. I think it was the Witchcraft book, if I'm not mistaken. And I did alcohol marker for most of it, and then outlined it in colored pencil and used some sparkly paint pens. And yeah, I liked it. I liked the way I did the purple. I had a vision for it. I saw the abstract weirdness of it, and that's kind of what I went for, was weird and odd for these. So yeah, I love that one. I colored this one by Mariola Bedeck when it first came out. I have been wanting to redo this one. I have a different vision for it. So I'd love to redo this page myself. But this is the first time I really, I watched somebody do some hair on, I can't remember who it was or what video, but I watched a few people the way they would color hair, and I just kind of went for it, and I was really happy with the outcome of that. I didn't really do much shading. I just outlined with a different color, and I stuck to certain colors. I put a little bit of glitter on her eyes, and I mean, I was trying to do like an old kind of book, but now I can, there's a combo that I use for old style books, but at the time that was what I had. And I mean, I learned from that, you know. You learn from what you liked, and you learn from what you didn't like, and you move on from there. So yeah, there's that one by Mariola Bedeck. This one was a Louisa May page. And the sky didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, but it's kind of different. So I like different, which is fine. I was practicing with alcohol marker, trying to see how I could get, you know, the bricks to look and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I didn't shade much. I did a little bit on the rabbit and stuff, but to what I do today, this, you know, I was happy with this, honestly, and I still am. I still love it. This is another one. I can't remember if it's the Louisa May one. I believe it is, but I had fun with this one. Stuck to a limited palette. I wanted to do the blue, pink, and black, and I was really happy with it. My shading, I think, is a little better nowadays, but still, it didn't look bad. I just learned from this. That's about it. And chalk pastel for the background. I used a lot of chalk pastel for backgrounds. This is when I first got into the chalk pastels. This one was a Kelly O'Gorman page. And this one I was really proud of myself when I was done. Just because the colors and the way it looked, I was, yeah. You know, when you, sometimes you get some pictures that you finish and you're just so overly proud of it, and you can't believe that you colored it. Yeah, that's the feeling I got when I colored this. So this is a Tyson art picture. Yeah, I wasn't too happy with this one, to be honest. Nothing was going the way I wanted it to, and the colors didn't work out the way I wanted them to, so I just went and colored it and shaded it where all the shading was, and then I called it done. I put this crappy background with my chalk pastel, and yeah, so another redo picture I'd love to do. This is from Sassy Coloring, aka Saska Cook. It's from her Wonderful Wildlife book. Another one I'd love to redo. I had a vision for it, but didn't quite go the way I planned. But once it was like, you know, I guess once it was done, I was just happy that it was done, but I wasn't happy with the outcome of it. But I did like the way the honey turned out. Sassy Cook has a tutorial on how she colors honey and other stuff as well. So if you check out her channel, there are different things that she does tutorials for. But that's that one. This is a Jade Summer one from her Stuffed Animals book. This was a buddy color. I think it was with my friend Winifred. And, yeah. I think it was for an Easter picture or whatever we were coloring. And, I loved this combo. I had seen somebody use this lime green or this bright green and the blues together, and I just love that combo together. And the orangey kind of corally orange in the pink, I love that combo as well. So it was a lot of alcohol marker, alcohol marker for the sky and the eggs and the grass, and the rest were all colored pencils. But I didn't do much, again, back then I didn't do much shading. I just, I was still happy. I had my ways back then, and, you know, that's what worked for me then. Now it's a little, you know, I've tweaked a bit. This one I did, it was a buddy color with Nikki and Niagara. It was when I first started my YouTube channel. And I used, most of it's alcohol markers. This was when I first got my inks, and I was practicing with that. It's all alcohol marker and paint pen and inks. And she was an alien, so I made her skin purple, and then I tried to do like that alienish kind of skin tone. But I didn't want to do her whole face. I wanted to do only half her face. And I loved the colors I used. I just, I was iffy about it, but yeah. This one is, I think it was an Ava Brown one, or a Primrose from their Kawaii Desserts. And I love coloring donuts. So I just decided to color this one and go really bright with the colors. It was all alcohol marker base, and then I shaded over top with colored pencil and paint pen. So yeah, there was that one. I forgot to color inside the holes, but oh well. This is a Sassy Cook, or a Sassy coloring picture. If I could, I'd do it differently now. But I did like the way she did turn out at first. And I was trying to shade the hair. I was just, on this page, it was a lot of learning, to be honest. But I was happy with it. The gold and the way it looked, At the time, I was, Anyways, another Mayu picture, and again, it was just straight coloring and blending colors together like a gradient. I'm one of my happier pictures. I loved that I colored the colors wise, I guess. But when you color a page, it honestly goes to show you your mood, to be honest. That's the way I see it. The way you're feeling, the way, you know, your mood, anything, it will be portrayed in your artwork, to be honest. So, I just loved how she turned out. I could color her again because there's a double of this one. In all May Use books, there's doubles. So, yeah, I really, this was all done in pencil. Even the background was pencil. Sorry, guys. This page is a daily art hour from their Christmas books. And Christmas Kawaii Kingdom is what it's from. And this was a buddy color with Miss Sweet's Crafting Therapy. I did most of everything I based in alcohol marker. And then I used colors and brute fooners. And probably Starjoy Golds. Or not Golds, Starjoys. And my Art and Fly pencils, and probably Amazon Basics as well. Another one from Christmas Kawaii Kingdom by Daily Art Hour. The vision I had for this did not portray to the page. So I just kind of went with the flow, I guess. And it just, you know, my brain had its own ideas, so yeah, I wasn't overly impressed with it, but it was another done page. This one is, I can't remember if this is an Edwina Macnamee page or if it's a Sabine design, but I like how I did the background. I was really proud of the background, and the trees, I was trying to give the snow a different kind of, but it turned out the way it turned out, and I was happy with it. I mean, I didn't really shade much, but I did what I could. This page I was over the moon with when I colored this. I really took my time, and the waterfall, everything in this page turned out quite the way I really wanted it. And it was well loved on Facebook coloring groups as well. It's another Mayu one. I think it's from the Super Cute Animals, I believe. But yeah. This page here is from what's Bake Mono. Their Amazing Creatures, Fantasy Creatures book. And this one was, yeah, mostly colored pencil and paint pen. Yeah, if I could, I'd change a few things, but overall, I did like the look of it. And I was happy with everything. So, chalk pastel for the background, white paint pen. I was trying to do like mossy rocks because it was by the water. And yeah, so there is that one. This one was just a complete disaster when I colored this one. That's why the background is the way it is. I just had given up completely. It was, yeah, all alcohol marker. And I was planning on shading all of it, and it just wasn't working the way I wanted it to. So I just went with it. I just threw everything I could at it to try and fix it. But yeah, wasn't going, so. This was a buddy color with Disney Mags. I smudged the paint pen. I was famous for smudging paint pens. I still am. I was proud of myself for the way I made the apples look. And this little hedgehog. And chalk pastel for the background. This is from 50 Christmas Elves Coloring Book by Camelia Andrikova. I used a gold paint pen to outline his hair. Did I do it with his? No, I didn't. Just the horse. I did the gold on. And looking back at it now, I could change the pink in the background, but I was happy with the way the horse turned out. maybe gone a little bit more brown with him, but I liked him the way he was, so.
Nice.
This one is, I believe it is another Louisa May one from her Sweet Treats book or something. This was one of those pages where I just wanted something simple to color, something to throw color to, and I used alcohol marker and paint pens, and I believe that's all I used on here other than the chalk pastel in the background. Yeah, I used paint pens, alcohol markers, and chalk pastel. That's it. And I was happy with it. This is a Louisa May from her Chibi Girls book, and I absolutely loved this picture. I loved everything about it, doing it, the way the gradient was with the purple and the blue, the pillows, the background. Took me a bit, but I did get it. Yeah, her face is alcohol marker, but that's about it. This one was from one of those lifestyle grayscale press books. They disappeared off of Facebook, but I think they're under like Luca Poe or something like that. But this is just straight alcohol marker. The whole page is black, and then everything on the page was white. So it was just easier for me to just do alcohol marker to do what I wanted to it, and I was happy with it. So there's that one. This was another one. I did some pencil. I did some pencil on her dress, but the rest was all alcohol marker, and the details were paint pen. This one as well was kind of, I don't know if I would call it a complete dud, but this is from Daily Art Hour, and I added a bunch of star glitter to the clouds and just made it really, really Christmassy, I guess you could say, because I added a lot of glitter to Rudolph here. I made his nose glittery, everything. Yeah. Another one that was kind of eesh. It is a Mayu page, and yeah, this was just a mess from the beginning, but it is what it is. Not everything can be a masterpiece. So yeah. This one was I don't know, my mood was weird that day. This is from Jeanette Wummel from The Roots of Design. And I just used alcohol marker and I think it was chalk pastel or inks in the background. But yeah, I was in a weird mood, and I think I was just grabbing random markers and just throwing it on there. Same with this one. This one is, I think it's a Sassy page, a Sassy Cook page. This was for a color palette challenge in one of the coloring groups. And yeah, you can't use shading or anything. You were only able to use the colors in the palette. So I went with this, and that's the outcome of that. This was another simple page. I went through a phase where I just wanted simplicity, to be honest. Because it made me feel good that I was able to finish a page and, all of that. So, this is from Happy Ant Publishing. Chalk pastel, alcohol marker base, and then I did some shading over top. This was a Tabitha Barnett one, and I didn't want to color the sunflower like every other sunflower, so I decided to go with this. And the background, I went with the same colors to kind of bring it all together. I was happy with it. Everybody loved it, to be honest. Another Jeanette Wummel, sorry guys. Kelly O'Gorman. and this is her W, and I used a little bit of everything, alcohol marker and colored pencils. I can't remember which ones, but colored pencils of some sort. Yep. This one was just wanted to throw colors together, honestly. I wasn't feeling this page, to be honest, but I think it was a prompt or something, and I was like, okay, let me get it done. So I drew these circles in these bubbles. I just grabbed whatever markers and colored. Then I did the banner, like the bottom. Yep, another unmasterpiece, but that's okay. This is a daily art hour page, and alcohol marker. Most of it's alcohol marker, except for this part here and the box and the flowers and the little mummies. Those are all colored pencils, but everything else was alcohol marker. This is a ongoing, I guess, buddy color with Disney Megs and Jamie's Coloring Lab. And we have this book, and we color it. We color each, the letter that Disney Megs has going on every month. And we did this one for the month with the letter H. I used glossy accents. It was the first time I used glossy accents on a coloring page. And I used, I think it was Starjoy Gold pencils, Brute Fooners, my Brute Fooner Macaron pencils, and yeah, and my chalk pastel for the background. This was another dud one, but I was trying to make her look like the witch from Wizard of Oz and the Scarecrow. And I didn't mind the way it turned out. I mean, the pumpkins and stuff turned out pretty good, but in the end, I wasn't overly thrilled with it. And I threw the background in, and it just didn't do it for me, so. This one is from Tiny Cats by Coco Wyo. It was one of my favorites. It is still one of my favorites. And I used Brute Fooner pencils, and I used my pastel pencils, my pastel low pencils, and I think these were alcohol markers. Yeah, alcohol markers, and then chalk pastel for the background, and paint pen, obviously. This one was, yeah, mostly alcohol marker. It was Jade Summer from Cute and Spooky, I believe it is.
I'm going to Grayson's.
So yeah, I can't remember what pencils I used, but this one was when I was testing my acrylic markers, acrylic paint markers. That's what this one was. This was a test. And yeah, I was kind of iffy. I still prefer my my paint pens to my paint markers. So this was another disaster from Coco Wyo's Witchcraft, I think, or Cute Witch Stuff. This was just a complete disaster. I was trying to give it like a misty look in the background. Didn't work the way I wanted it to. I covered up most stuff with paint pen, but it was all alcohol marker on this one. This one here was a Camellia Indricova page, alcohol marker, and this is when I started really using, like within these pictures, this is when I started using alcohol marker base to my colored pencil over top. This was a sweet, easy, fun one. When I first got my Indra Creative pencils, I wanted to play with them and test them out, so this is what I tested them on, a simple page. And I used chalk pastel and made a black circle around. This was my little gypsy cat, is what I called her. I had fun with her, but as you can see, my shading over top of alcohol marker started getting a little bit better. Not much, but it started getting there. This one was way a while ago and was just a complete disaster. Yeah, I just wanted to throw, I don't know what, my mood wasn't that great at the time, and I just wanted to throw color on. Moving on. This was a April Amber from her Chibi Girls book, and it was for a birthday prompt, and I was super happy with the way it all turned out, to be honest. So there's that one. This is all paint pen confetti in the background. This was with my very first pastel pencils. I think they were Marcos, and I wanted to test them out, so that's what I did, and I did like it. Another Camellia Andrikova page. Straight pencils. I don't believe, yeah, no alcohol marker on this one. This one here is a Julia Sperry page. Chalk pastel for the background. Yeah, it was all colored pencil for this page. And paint pen. But you can see the growth, honestly, throughout all these pages, because they're all kind of scattered and mixed. But you can see the growth throughout the pictures and stuff. This one, I think, is an Ava Brown one. And I mean, it's not overly bad. I mean, none of these pages are bad. It's just to what I'm used to now, to the way I color now, to me, they're just like, what was I thinking? But at the time, that's the way I colored, and I felt good about them. So this was just a crazy fun one. And this was all colored pencils. Yeah, this is before I started using the markers. And I wasn't sure how to color a pineapple. I just went with like what I could think of at the top of my head. This one was whole alcohol marker, and I was trying to shade this, and I kind of used my blender pencil too much, so it kind of gave it that weird splotchy pencil blooming. A Hannah Lynn one. This is when I colored a lot of Hannah Lynn. I added sparkle to her hair. And it was, yeah, all colored pencil. And again, I was super proud of myself when I colored this, because to me, I had never colored a page like this. So when I did accomplish it and I finished it, and the way I did the shading at the time and the way I outlined everything, it just made me happy. All my pages have made me happy throughout my coloring journey, because I am learning and growing, and, you know, this is when, this page is another Julia Sperry page, and this is when I first got my first set of Ohuhu pastel markers, and I wanted to play with them, so I did this one. This was one of my first pages. My first Camellia books was the, I think, Summer Miniatures book. And yeah, I just used marker for the sun and colored pencil for the rest. And as you can see, I didn't like do a background. I did a little bit of shading, but I was trying to do, at that time, I was trying to do like lighting, and I have found that I am not the kind of colorist that uses the lighting for anything. I put highlights where I think look good. This one was just a quick color, you know. And I was trying to do something with the leaves, and yeah, whatever worked for me then, I mean, everything made me happy. This made me happy, you know, and it's just a simple popsicle, you know, and that's all that matters when you're coloring, though. I mean, throughout my coloring journey, you can see up and down, the easy, the hard, the easy, the difficult, the easy, you know. This one was alcohol marker, and he was all colored pencils. And I loved the colors, so bright. This one was just a quick throat marker to the paper. It was just one of those days where I was like, yeah, I just want to color in something real quick. Another one that I just colored real quick. This was printed off the internet. And yeah, this is when I was trying to learn with alcohol markers, and I was going over and it was bleeding everywhere. Yeah. This is a Color and Shicks Duria Kakersoy page, and another one where I was practicing hair, and I went with the shading on her, and you know, this is what worked for me, you know, and the odd time I'll still do this look depending on the page. This is from Maggie Swanson's Circle of Animals book, and I loved the way it turned out. I loved that I did the blue frogs. I wish I had done the water a little lighter, or even the frogs a little lighter, but overall I was happy with the outcome. I keep saying I was happy, but I honestly was happy with the outcome, and I still am. I don't know how many times I can say I was happy. I mean, this is a Camellia Indrikova one. I loved the way I did this flower with those colors. Chalk pastels. This one was, yeah, this was paint pen and alcohol marker. And I can't even remember who this page was from, to be honest. But as you can see, I mean, it's an older page because the colors are starting to fade in this. If you can see that, I don't know. Another Camellia Indrikova page from one of her Halloween books. Nowadays, I color things like my otter page. I colored everything, you know, the way realistically they should be. Nowadays, I don't do that. I just go, you know, like the ghost was white, and the haunted house was gray, and, you know, the pumpkin orange. Now I don't do that. Everything has changed nowadays. I just go crazy with my colors, and that's what makes me happier in my coloring nowadays, is because everything is crazy, wacky. You know, the way I color now is more fantasy, mythical, enchanting worlds. This was a color palette challenge, another one. This is a Tabitha Barnett square mandalas page. I used actually watercolor pencils on this page, and yeah, I'm not very good with watercolor pencils, so I just went with it for this page. I wanted to test them out, but it's not my favorite medium, so. Another Camellia Indrikova page. And as you can see, the bears are different color, and I outline them, you know, but now I bring down the color and the shading. This is one of my favorite Camellia Indrikova pages. I used my chalk pastels with my cloud stencil I made, and it was done for a Valentine's Day challenge, and I really loved the way it all turned out in the end. This is a LJ Knight page. I was trying to give it a little bit of shadowing here, and I was trying to do like a galaxy sky. I think I accomplished it well. When I colored this, I was happy with the outcome. And I think I did a really awesome job, so this one was fun to do. It was all alcohol marker, and yeah, I think I added alcohol to the marker, like when I was coloring it. I was trying to see what it would do, but it didn't go the way I wanted it to. But, again, I was happy with it. There's another one from Tiny Cats, and I think these were my pastel lows that I was using on here. And the kitty cats. I loved coloring the kitty cats. And yeah, these little clouds were here. I just outlined them. This was for an Easter page, obviously, so it was all light colors, I believe. Yeah, it was all colored pencil for this, and this was, because it was a bigger area, it's, yeah, this was an Easter page. I think it was buddy color with a friend of mine, so we did that. Then this was another buddy color I did with a friend of mine. She picked the page. I wouldn't have picked this page, but, you know. The background is all acrylic paint pen, and I did like the way it all turned out, the shading on her and stuff. I was super happy with her. This is a Chris Raniak page, and I used watercolor pencils on this guy and this guy, and the rest were all colored pencil because I didn't like the way the paint was working or the pencils were working, and I wasn't sure what colors to color them, so I just did what I could. And yeah, a lot of chalk pastel backgrounds in this. It helped a lot, my chalk pastels. And this is the last one for the video. And I got a lot of comments about the way I did my rainbow frog and got the blend the way I did with my markers. But yeah, it was all alcohol marker based, and then I shaded over top with my colored pencils. Again, my shading is a little better nowadays, but another learning experience and another page that helped me become the colorist that I am today. And in years' time from now, it'll be different, and my genres will change, and everything will be different again. So I want to thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this part of my 12-year coloring journey. I'd love to hear your comments and, what pages you guys liked, what you think about my growth in my coloring, any of the mediums if you're interested in that I have mentioned, or any of the books. If you're interested, I can send you links to any of it and any of the supplies. And I just want you to all know that I appreciate each and every one of you who has subscribed and has been supporting me as a channel. You guys are all amazing, and again, this is why I do what I do, because you guys are so sweet, and this community is absolutely amazing and so caring and so helpful. Just remember to stay safe, be kind, keep smiling, happy coloring, dreamers, and until the next time, bye.